I always think it's funny when rappers who have famous girlfriends talk about other girls like you're either full of shit or you're just stupid.
Go subscribe, subscribe.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Brews and Reviews. I'm reviewing the long-awaited follow-up to what many considered the debut album of 2019, Cordae's The Lost Boy. Certainly, he's one of the best voices of the youngest generation of MCs. Let's get into this project. Shiloh's intro, this is his friend spitting from a collect call from jail. Fire lyrics, but make no mistake, this is not a new concept. Rappers have been doing this for a while. Most notably to me, it was on Outkast's Acclaim. This is a good verse though. Jean-Michel, the title a reference to Jean-Michel Basquiat. I learned that from Jay-Z. Yes, 90% of what I know, I learned from hip hop. Great beat on this from frequent collaborator Kid Culture. He did a lot on The Lost Boy, and he's got a lot on this project as well. And surprisingly, Rafael Siddiq assists with the production here. And Cordae makes his presence known with some ill bars immediately. He says, brink of extinction, hell-bent on survival. This life's a continuous cycle. Consider this a venomous haiku. Super, even better beat than the previous incredible beat. And I remember that being one of the strengths from The Lost Boy was his beat selection. And he leads this off with a strong chorus. 7 Million didn't do a show. And I thought he was talking about Dr. Dre's Super Bowl halftime show, which I'm really looking forward to this year. But apparently he's talking about Dr. Dre's Super Boat. He's been on Dr. Dre's boat. At least that's what Genius says he's referring to the boat. Lyrically, this song is mostly Cordae just flexing lyrically, very fitting for a single. But I do see remnants of J. Cole on this, as I do on many tracks on the album, but the beat itself does even more legwork for the song as a whole when it switches at the outro. Mama's Hood, great mid-range bass line on this, and Cordae shows what he's got lyrically, particularly shining on verse 2 as he talks about the death of his homie, which was recently. Apparently, he says, couldn't really live with him, now I'm living without him. And you was just there with us listening to the new album. Every got his flaws, accounts that's filled with withdrawals. I paint pictures that's vivid because my feelings so raw. One for me, and probably not too many people know this, but these are the best producers on the album. Not the best produced track, I'm not saying that, but these are my favorite producers that are on this album, and it is Jake One and Dem Jointz collaborating on this beat. And Cordae handles the chorus himself, but I really think he should have reunited with Anderson .Paak for it, because Anderson would have sounded so good singing this chorus, and it's almost like Cordae's doing an Anderson .Paak impression. Lyrically, he's spitting about the differences between men and women, possibly referencing his relationship with tennis star Naomi Osaka. And that makes me think about how I really liked how those right-wing and straight-laced commentators were so pissed about this pick right here when Cordae brought that real hip-hop attitude to mainstream tennis. And I loved how pissed off they got, like Cordae is the worst or the most vulgar that the modern hip-hop era has to offer. I mean, obviously, he's far from that, but these dudes were acting like he was the devil. It was awesome. Today, first miss for me on the project, a little too trap here and a little too different from the rest of the album, at least what we've gotten so far for my taste. And Gunna has a trash verse too, weak as hell. C. Carter brings it back though. Now I said I wanted an Anderson .Paak feature on the previous track, but I'm good with Cordae singing this. He handles it well. It's January, but this feels like one of those summer joints that just gives you good vibes. He says, Simply vessels in this climate, solitary confinement. I break free every time that I wake. My fate bleeds and creates seeds that eventually blossom to trees. Getting rid of all this extra shit I thought I would need. You could just ride to this shit, and I'm gonna drink to it. I broke out the special beer for this, same one from my last review, but I had to crack it open for this great release date. I reviewed Earl Sweatshirt's new album, Now Cordae, and I'm still sipping on this Goose Island Bourbon County. That is a stout brewed in bourbon barrels. This is 14%, really strong, just like this release date. Enjoying this beer and this Cordae album. Sinister, Hit Boy had a hand in this production, and his stock is up after all those collaborations with Nas, especially Magic. Unfortunately, I didn't get to review that album, but that is their best collab so far. And Cordae lyrically equates himself to Nas in a way by saying that he could just ask for 10 Hit Boy beats, and that's a humble brag, but I don't know if that's really the case, because I think that Hit Boy is probably saving those beats for Nas. Cordae kicks it off by saying, let's reflect times, I try to collect minds from complex rhymes, and by the way, shout out Tech 9. Completely unexpected. I would not think that Cordae was really influenced or listened to Tech 9 in any way, but respect to him for the shout out for sure. Lil Wayne comes through with a guest appearance, slurring like he's drunk, but still pulling off an ill flow due to his intricate rhyme scheme. And it's a good guest appearance from my most respected mediocre rapper from the classic age. Champagne Glasses featuring Freddie Gibbs and Stevie Wonder. What? And as amazing as that is, wasn't Nas supposed to be on this song? Yeah, I know that Cordae released the track list same week that this dropped, and it had Nas on it. Don't know what happened where Nas got pulled. Maybe Pete Rock sued Nas and got the verse in the lawsuit, in the settlement. I don't know what happened here. But here's the track minus the Nas verse. And Cordae holds his own with one of the better MCs out right now in Freddie. Cordae says, but shit be getting worser by the second, I'm guessing. Put a smile up on my face, cause life is all about perception. And I really hate to say this, but Cordae's verse is actually better than Freddie's, cause Gibbs goes pretty short with a couple repeated lines and not the quality that we might normally expect from him. Probably really he cut it short or made it a little lackluster to make way for the Nas verse that was cut for some reason. So I can respect that, but after the Nas verse is cut, then it just doesn't do much for the song. And don't be fooled by the Stevie Wonder feature either. He's just playing the harmonica, not singing on this. So man, so much potential for this song, but so much was lost. Westlake High. Nice soul sample here. This is not a Ninth Wonder beat, but it definitely could be in the way that it sounds. And Cordae gets introspective, talking about his high school. He says, I went to Westlake High where death rates rise, and some people go to waste the rest of their lives. I go back every now and then to check they vibes. The rest of my classmates work in tech-based jobs. Parables remix. The original was great, and all those vibes are still here from Cordae, but this time he's joined with a guest appearance from Eminem, and it's kind of cool and annoying at the same time how every damn Eminem feature is like an event. Like, these dudes set up their song to build anticipation for the Eminem verse, and they let him go a little bit too long, a little bit longer than he should. Probably in 20, 30, 40 bars. I don't know what he's spitting here, but it's longer than a 16. But at the same time, M's verses usually live up to that hype. And I got a history lesson here for some of Eminem's lines. For those that don't know, let me quote the lines first. M says, I done seen some shit within my lifetime. At one time, I can still remember just how bad I used to want 5 mics. My biggest dream was just to make it into unsigned hype. It's so hard for me to fathom this was once my life. Here's the history lesson. 5 mics in this magazine. The Source was once the most coveted rating that any rapper in the world could get. In fact, it was the only rating that mattered. Everybody wanted 5 mics. They also had a column for up-and-coming rappers that was called Unsigned Hype. So that's what everybody wanted back in the day that Eminem came out. Only after Eminem came out, he had beef with one of the Source owners, Benzino, and Benzino used his Source, his magazine, to try to take down Eminem, which didn't work, and in the process ruined the credibility of the magazine. It was this issue right here where they were just going after Eminem, which is not what an independent hip-hop platform should be for. Very unfortunate, the downfall of the Source and Eminem's involvement in it, but that is what he's referencing here. Back to this verse, M does what we've come to expect from his features of late, utilizing fast raps and cadence switches while kicking a lot of puns, some of them corny, some of them on point, the corny ones in particular, like when he says the Obama kids coming out of my shell, Michelle. Okay, but there is a nice reference at the end when he says pony shoes and Rustler jeans. A lot of you didn't catch that. He's talking about some generic brands that people wore in the 80s. Gifted closes it out. This song is old and I didn't like it when it came out. Still don't like it here, but I want to comment on the chorus where he says, got this bad little bitch going down on the D. I always think it's funny when rappers who have famous girlfriends that we know about, bad bitches, talk about fucking other girls like you're either full of shit or you're just stupid. There's some hits and misses here, but overall, this is a good listen and continues the expectations that Cordae set with his debut. I don't think it's quite as good as that album, but there's still enough lyricism and song structure for him to remain one of the best of the current generation of MCs. Because of that, I'm going to give this an 8 out of a 12 pack. Thank you for watching my review of Cordae's A Bird's Eye View. If you like this, go ahead and hit like now and hit me up in the comments. If you didn't like it, also let me know why in the comments. I drop hip-hop and hops related content consistently, so subscribe to my channel now. And until I see you next time, keep buzzing. The man says subscribe.
But if he's on his channel saying that somebody's album is better than mine, unsubscribe.
No, your album's the best, man.
There you go. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe.